I prayed for strength. I didn't know God would send help instead.
No one stopped because the house looked abandoned. They stopped because the American flag on the porch was hanging by a single thread. Faded, almost torn in half. That's what caught my attention. The house sat on a quiet street in rural Tennessee. Paint peeling, windows dusty. From the outside, it looked forgotten. But it wasn't forgotten. It was being held together by a woman who refused to give up. Her name was Margaret Collins, 73 years old. Inside that small house lived her husband, Walter, a retired factory worker. A stroke had left him unable to walk or speak clearly. For 3 years she had been his nurse, and little by little she sold almost everything. The dining table where their children once laughed, her wedding jewelry, all of it, to pay for medication, to keep Walter at home. The yard had grown wild, grass too high, mailbox leaning sideways. Neighbors whispered she should ask for help, but Margaret never did. The day I stopped, I wasn't planning to. I was driving through town after finishing work with a church volunteer group, but something in my heart said, turn around. When I walked up the cracked steps, she opened the door slowly, careful, guarded, as if she expected judgment. Instead, I asked, "Ma'am, would it be okay if I fixed your flag?" Her eyes filled instantly. She looked back toward the living room where Walter sat in his wheelchair by the window. "He's a veteran," she whispered. "He salutes that flag every morning, even now." The thread holding it snapped in the wind. I replaced it that afternoon. Walter watched silently. When the new flag rose up the pole, he slowly lifted his trembling hand and saluted. Margaret began to cry. "I prayed last night. I asked God for strength. I didn't know he would send help instead." I told her something I truly believe. Sometimes strength comes wearing work boots. Before I left, our church arranged weekly grocery deliveries and medical support through a local veteran program. She hadn't failed. She hadn't neglected anything. She had simply run out of strength and refused to lose her dignity. And God answered her prayer not with money falling from the sky, but with someone who chose to stop. If you believe that no one should suffer silently and that faith still moves through ordinary people, comment, "I believe." Because sometimes the miracle isn't loud. It's just someone finally seeing what others walked past.